lot of, our core capabilities, I think, remain constant. The things that have changed are probably the things that we aspired to have capabilities and then never came together.
But to me too, that is more, that's a data dump. It's a dead end. You put something in, it's like a couple of years ago when we put this, what are you particularly, well, maybe it's in particular good at, and I know the Koreans have all their registered trademarks.
Everything,
they just did everything that was ever done. Right? And then it gets inflationary because this is not supposed to be a sales prospect where you say, look, we can do everything. It's really, I mean, I get the best impression what you guys are best at by just watching several of these events. And I see in which direction, where the emphasis is and where the skills are and where I can draw it from. Much more than from any document where it says what kind of products, names, and labels.
I think
but maybe I'm too skeptical.
I think I actually am closer to where you are than where these guys are, because what he's saying is the specific request is what drives knowledge about the network, is what drives those things that we're talking about. And so creating the site, I mean, it sounds nice. We've done this 3 times. We've done a SharePoint site. We did I can't remember what the first one was. Right, we created these. And so, capturing that would be interesting for the network, but it feels like we have to get client interest somewhere to push back a little bit. I still feel like it is a more one-to-one and or groups to one interest when these requests come in that make the network seem like it's big. Makes it, those requests is what drives the relationship, I think. So I still started where I was a few minutes ago.
And I suppose that's where when we start to do that hub, we didn't start off populating it with lots of stuff. We just started off with one guy interacting with another guy. We started off just with the list of employees in, so they all knew they were members of it, and then the groups started to develop organically and based on a specific issue that emerged. So you had there was a specific project or an interest, and then people would say, oh, that's a group I'm interested in, I'll follow that one. It's just a classic social media.
Better process.
Can we do that in LinkedIn? I mean, I know it's not exactly the same.
No, but it looks much more friendly and alive the way Richard showed us, really.
Sorry.
There might be a way. What you're really just suggesting is there a different platform that captures that already exists, right? That we could just tap into as opposed to creating our own thing. And I think LinkedIn has something like that, but it's not the same. It's intended to be more open. There are closed groups in there too, but.
And I think this will work more for clients, because if you tell them that you are just a group on a link in the LinkedIn, it's kind of, any other professional group. There are many. I'm part of, I think, 3 or 4 professional groups on the LinkedIn. Honestly, I barely watch the conversation. They are here on my profile. But when you show the client what Richard showed us, it's totally different feeling, really. You feel it's alive, and it's about know-how and sharing and people, after all.
I think LinkedIn's limitation is the file sharing capability. You can definitely do the social aspect, which becomes written back and forth. But the file sharing you talked about, where you're actually uploading pieces of a project, I don't think LinkedIn can do that.
Yeah. Besides this.
I mean, the product you showed is possibly wonderful, but it would require investment versus being able to use something that's existing, and then finding both its value and limitation, and then saying, okay, well, we see how this can work. Versus now, I'm not sure all of our members would be interested in that product, frankly.
Right. I mean, if the benefit of buying that product is we capture our discussion, right? What I just heard from this is if we make one product site, it's 3 of us that get together on a project, and it happens, and we save it there. We have recorded one project.
Yeah.
Right? And what do we do with that recording?
Yes.
We can share it with each other, but that's what we do here, right? So, what are we getting at? What are we creating out of that? What's the intent? Is it capturing it? We want to drive business. So, that's our goal. Then let's get more people here to tell them. That's what the client came in. Creating clients here makes that one-to-one connection more possible, and it makes the presentation we just did have a wider range than we can have if we just tell each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think driving business is taking something concrete out of this meeting or the Shanghai meeting, where Barry and I stood to talk about it. I just realized the MD Connect, where we try to see what we can do in Germany and basically connect and go to clients and try it out. Or what do you do with groups for the newspaper? I mean, we have to take up the leads, right? That we are being presented and see how we can make connections. That to me is the most lively and tangible part in this. Right?
What I do when I talk to clients about Iris is I always show the example of the Generation Y project, and then I told them that I got this input from the Iris partners in many countries, and then we were successful in getting the bid, and then I showed them the white paper, and then people were impressed by this kind of collaboration because they view us as a network of expertise and knowledge and know-how. And after the Shanghai event, and then a lot of clients, they saw the Iris as a network, and then they were impressed by the knowledge that we had. And then they came to us and asked us to organize small-scale events for them, maybe on a particular subject like segmentation or on shopper behavior. So we got this kind of request. They think that we have the knowledge because we do have so many talents all over the world. And then we think that this is the thing that we can move forward to do. Like we can hold some particular topics. Yeah.
But that sales pitch was one-to-one, right? It was Priscilla telling her clients about this, right? Yeah. And that's going way back to one of the first, like the third meeting we had. That seemed like the way to go, and it's sort of proven that that's the one that stood, right? That's the one that keeps coming back to being effective.
Yeah.
A platform such as the Hub will help us as a network inside, and will make our image alive, more alive in front of the clients as well. I mean, I see double benefits out of it, for us as a network and for outside, for the clients, to give a real picture about the network.
What do you think yourself, Richard, having done the Hub internally, do you think we should do it or something similar?
Yeah, because you have it.
Kind of sitting on the fence.
Yeah.
I mean, I take what your point, there probably are other tools out there. I just think this is something that started off small in June, and there's now so much content on it, and it's not actually taken. It's not been an extra thing for people to do. And as they started to find ways, think of our Home Serve project, you could be exchanging stuff on that there, and then suddenly you've got an opportunity to somebody else to show that to someone in another country. I mean, it's thinking back to the thing I failed to do, which was to come with the we had that monitor, which was so turgid to do, of interactions between all the IRIS members. Fernanda back in my office had to sit there and contact everybody and say, right, Ian, have you dealt with somebody in Korea and and chase them up? Whereas we'd actually start to have somewhere that just became from a starting point, a sort of library of interactions of IRIS. And even if it doesn't go, huge, it's still one place that starts to snowball out. And I would guess someone like Alice, who's really keen on this kind of stuff, she would probably be our, you get the classic Facebook things when you post 100 times, you get a little award that comes through, and everyone knows you're a top poster and all that kind of stuff. So but you could see some people being really active, and other people probably wouldn't really use it, but at least the ones who want to use it could.
I think Ian's point is good to keep in mind. I mean, we have tried this a number of times, but I don't think that's to say that it won't eventually be worthwhile. I think you have to recognize also that the early efforts were with software that was not exactly intuitive. No. And it was just so different from anything else you used that even when you were motivated to go and do something,
it was difficult.
You almost you stopped because you didn't get to a point of success, and then I'll have to go and ask someone else, and you never did it.
And
I
it
mean, at
was-
some point we'll have, and maybe it's this software, maybe it's not, the point where it's just so easy to use that it just happens.
So to add on to that, to contradict myself, the two first tools that we built were intended to be communication tools for us internally,
But it
to
was a
store
big
documents,
topic.
to say, here's what we've been working on, here's our presentation. It wasn't to, track a job. It wasn't to say we have this job together, let's put it in the site and talk about the things we're going to do in this job. It was all focused on how do we talk to each other about what we're doing in the meeting, in the minutes and pictures. So.
And those pieces of software did not catch on with us. They also did not catch on with the marketplace.
Right.
Yeah.
So they didn't become Facebook.
There's a reason why.
No.
There's a reason why Microsoft have just spent 1.6 billion buying Yammer or whatever it's called. It's because this stuff's here now and it's growing.
Yeah, and I was somewhat critical of this maybe, but I mean, we're going to look into it because we're not as big as you are, but we have the same problem at EMC, right? We have people. Yeah, we have people in different parts of the country, and we do the same thing where, boy, we come together like this. And we're like, really, you did that?
Yeah.
I wish I had known that.
And I mean, this week I looked at 3 projects I have, and I said, I'm not going to be able to do these. I have to find somebody to help me. And in doing that, then I had to go call them and explain what have we done at this point. Make them read 5 emails of what I had 4, and I find them all 4 of them. I forgot 3 of them, so they're like, where's this? I don't know. I have to go find it now, right?
Yeah.
So I
And that's
can
where
immediately
this
see that
thing-
being useful.
This thing will work, frankly, if we find it works internally. Right? If it works for us internally, then we're much more willing to invest in it